My wife informed me of her resignation from work upon arriving home. I was shocked as I had not expected this news. I was occupied with washing a cup and nearly dropped it when she entered the room. My wife appeared sad and tired as she stood in the doorway with her briefcase. She had not been satisfied with the job and her bosses were not kind to her. She had been working long hours, often forced to do overtime, which had taken a toll on her. I was about to say something, but I realized she might be worried about my reaction. So, she probably didn't tell me about her resignation until now. Nothing I say can change her decision, as she has already quit. I hugged her, telling her I was sorry and promised to do my best to find a new job. I wanted to show her that I was on her side. I am Seymour, a 31-year-old businessman working at an average company. My parents passed away when I was young, and my grandparents who raised me passed away before I got married. My wife and in-laws are my only remaining family. I married Carly, who is the same age as me, 3 years ago. We don't have children but we're a happy couple until she quit her job. It's been a year since her resignation. To make ends meet, I took on some side jobs like data entry. I worked hard to support my family while my wife continued to search for a new job without success. I suggested she work part-time, but she was concerned it might affect my job search. With my full-time job and my wife's unemployment benefits and savings, we have managed to survive. But I am worried about our future. Since my wife's resignation, she has been less involved with household chores. She has been job hunting most days, but on days she is home, she does not help as much as before. I understand she is focused on finding a new job, but the dishes and laundry have been piling up. Even when she used to work overtime every night, she still helped more with household chores than she does now. Our situation is far from perfect. Hey Carly, can you help out with the housework on the days that you're free? At least with a little bit of laundry and dishes. I mustered up the courage to ask, but you immediately shut me down, saying you're busy looking for a job. I understand and I'm trying my best, but a little help would be great. I asked softly and politely, but you let out an exaggerated sigh. Are you saying I should do it all because I'm the breadwinner? That's condescending. Whatever, I'm going to sleep. As I was cleaning up, I noticed a new smell, the smell of soap. I said it out loud and you froze with your hand on the door to our bedroom. You said you went job hunting today, but I noticed that you were at a spa instead. You said it was for stress relief, but another night you came home late smelling of alcohol. I wondered if you're having an affair, but I shook my head, trying not to jump to conclusions. I thought about my in-laws, who still work and manage housework, and wondered how they would treat their daughter in this situation. But I shouldn't be worried about that, I should focus on resolving things between us. I shook my head again, thinking about my wife's parents supporting her quitting. I was upset with my in-laws, but I remembered my wife's advice to not involve them in our arguments. I started doing laundry to clear my head. A few days later, I was on my way to work when I felt unsteady and under the weather. The rain didn't improve my mood, but I didn't realize I was that tired. Suddenly, I heard a loud noise and felt a sharp pain in my left ankle. I lost consciousness and woke up in a hospital bed. The doctor told me I had fallen down the stairs of a pedestrian bridge and broken my left ankle. I would need to stay in the hospital for at least a month. The surgery on my ankle was successful, and I only had a few scratches on my face. The doctor told me I was lucky. After the doctor left, my wife came to visit. I was shocked when my company called and I learned that a colleague had found me passed out near the bridge and called for an ambulance. My wife brought me a change of clothes and my phone charger. I thought this would be enough, but I could have used a towel and some toiletries. I appreciate that my wife brought anything at all, but I imagine she was in a rush and didn't have time to think. I asked if she could bring me anything else if I needed. While I'm not home, my mom will come by and help with housework. Carly quickly stood up and said that my mom doesn't like me, which made the atmosphere in the hospital room uncomfortable. 3 weeks passed and my wife never came to visit me. I sent her messages asking her to bring me things, but she ignored them. When I texted her about extending my hospital stay, all she said was okay. My bosses visited me more often than my wife. I had to buy things I needed and pay for the hospital cleaning service to do my laundry, which cost more money than I could afford. I wanted to call my wife, but I shared a hospital room with other patients who wanted peace and quiet. If I wanted to make a call, I had to ask a nurse to take me out of the room using a wheelchair. I realized I should thank my mother-in-law for helping Carly out with housework. My wife said I didn't have to, but I thought it was the best thing to do. I was nervous, but I asked the nurse to take me to a place where I could make a call, and I called my mother-in-law. After apologizing for causing trouble, my mother-in-law was silent. I began sweating because I was worried she was angry at me. What are you talking about? I'm not helping Carly with anything. She had no reason to lie. I explained to my mother-in-law about my accident, surgery, and hospitalization. You're in the hospital. Why haven't you told me earlier? I'll be there soon. She hung up the phone and I was stunned. This wasn't what I expected. My mother-in-law came to the hospital room with clothes, towels, and water bottles. She looked at me and flinched. "That looks painful. Are you okay?" She promised to visit every day. We spoke candidly about what had happened and realized Carly had tricked both of us. My mother-in-law was disappointed to learn Carly had quit her job and was lying. We agreed Carly was acting suspiciously and might be having an affair. I asked my mother-in-law for a favor and she promised to help. 2 months after my hospitalization, I was finally discharged. "Why didn't you come to visit me? I saw your text, so I came to pick you up. I've been busy, but I got a new job at an amazing company." My wife picked me up from the hospital and talked about how hard finding a job was during the ride home. "Let's celebrate my recovery and new job." When I suggested this, Carly's face lit up. Back at home, Carly took off her shoes and entered the living room before me. I struggled to take off my shoes and entered the room, where I saw Carly frozen and looking at divorce papers on the table. My part was already filled out and my in-laws were witnesses. Carly asked for a divorce. I laughed and told her to celebrate my recovery with a bang. Just then, my in-laws and the lawyer entered the room. My father had introduced me to the lawyer and I asked him to come over. The lawyer greeted Carly and gave her his business card. My wife's jaw dropped as she realized what was happening. I asked my in-laws for 2 favors. To set up security cameras in our living room and bedroom and to introduce me to a lawyer if my wife was cheating. The cameras recorded evidence of my wife's infidelity. My lawyer told Carly that she couldn't talk her way out of it as it was an invasion of privacy. "You should first apologize to Seymour." My father-in-law slapped Carly across the face and she fell to the floor, holding her cheek while looking away from us. "We're renting this house under my name. All I did was install security cameras in case someone tried to break in. How dare you treat my home like some sort of hotel? You're disgusting." I'm not sure if it was because of the pain of the slap or her shame, but Carly began to cry. She got on her knees in front of me and told me about her lover. He was the son of the CEO of the company she was going to begin working for after she went to their office for an interview. He hit on her initially, but she quit her job because she genuinely hated it and was serious about finding a new job. Once she met her lover, however, she got distracted and fell in love. While I was hospitalized, he stayed over at her house whenever he wanted. Most recently, her lover told her, "If you break up with your husband, I will pull some strings and get you a great job." "Seymour, I just dated him so I could get a new job. Please believe me. Don't divorce me." Seeing her face covered in tears and snot, I couldn't help but laugh. "You say that you have to divorce me to narrow that guy and get a job there," but when I pointed out the contradictions of what Carly was saying, she went silent. For that woman, the reason I did my best with my job and housework was because I believed I had a future with her. "Carly, we are cutting ties with you. The money we're supposed to leave you in our will, your father and I will use to enjoy our lives. We will use all our money to move into a nice senior home." Hearing that from her mother, Carly went pale. It seemed she had nothing more to say. My father-in-law nodded along with what his wife had said. I turned and looked down at my wife. "You certainly had fun while I was away these last 2 months. I hope you now have fun in hell. Goodbye." I put all my emotions into those final words. Carly looked at us and curled into a ball, sobbing. A few days later, our divorce was finalized and with the help of my lawyer, I requested alimony for my wife's lover. "I'm incredibly sorry for what my son has done," said Carly's lover's father. "I will make sure he pays you back for this." Instead of firing him, I moved Carly's lover to a different office with intense work. He is now stuck with laborious work in paying off the alimony and is struggling every day. My body fully healed, and to thank my ex-in-laws, I gave them a voucher for a spa hotel. After they repeatedly asked me to, I eventually joined them. In the photos we took during our trip, my ex-in-laws looked incredibly happy. "You're still young," my ex-mother-in-law said to me during the trip. "I hope you can be happy now." I felt my eyes tear up. They are no longer my family, but their wish is for me to be happy. I will make sure to fulfill that wish and do my best to live a happy life. Your support means the world to me, and it's what keeps me going and creating content for you guys. So, if you enjoyed this video, I would be incredibly grateful if you could drop a like and hit that subscribe button. That way, you'll never miss out on any of my videos and can stay up to date with all my latest content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.